What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dan Reviews, and today we're going to be doing our next Walking Dead trade paperback review. Did No Way Out, volume 14, what was it, 2 days ago, last night, something like that. And yeah, today we're going to be doing volume 15, We Find Ourselves, sorry. Yeah, so this is probably one of my favorite covers, you know. I really love this cover. And for some reason, when I'm looking at this, I almost kind of think of, it reminds me of Volume 2 a little bit, with the whole snow theme. What was it? Miles Behind Us, Volume 2, way back when back at, like, the farm and everything. So, this is obviously way further ahead, so, yeah. But here's the cover art. You have a really cool zombie here. I really like this zombie. Then you got some other walkers. I just love how, like, each one of the zombies kind of connect, so you can kind of line them up. But that would take a lot of rooms. Yeah, I don't think much people are actually lining them up. I just put them in the display. So you have Rick, Andrea, Michonne, Abraham, Holly, Glenn, Nicholas, Rosita, that type of thing. Like the group, the kind of group that's still alive at this time. Spoiler warning, if you're not caught up to the Walking Dead comic book series up to this point, my playlist will be in the description. And yeah, let's check this one out. So this is probably, the thing is about this trade that's so unique and that I actually really like this stuff in the comic books, and why I actually really like this trade is because in the TV show, they actually didn't do any of this. Like, none of the stuff from this trade, aside from about one scene that they did earlier on, that they translate to earlier on in the story, none of it is in the TV show, which I kind of find sad in a way, because I don't know why they didn't go ahead and do this stuff, because this is some, it's okay stuff. Like, I could understand why some of it they cut out. But they literally cut out, like, most of the stuff from this trade. Like, they literally did No Way Out Volume 14. They moved on to the source material right from the next episode to Volume, 16 almost. So, but once again, there is, still a couple scenes there, though. Big time, yeah. So, this is kind of like the cleanup. I was kind of talking about that yesterday in my review of No Way Out. It's kind of like the cleaning up afterwards, and Abraham and Glenn are kind of clearing walkers, and Glenn goes to Rick's house, like right in front of Rick's house, and he finds zombie Jesse. That is insane right there. And he's like, I can't shoot, and Abraham's like, man, really? Like, come on. So then he has to shoot. And he's like, where's Rick anyway? And he says, well, I'm pretty sure he's with Carl. So then it translates to him with Carl kind of at the bed. And this is something, once again, they never did in the TV show. He's having amnesia. If you guys know what that means, it's like basically memory loss, but it's a little difficult to explain. But he's having amnesia, and he's almost kind of thinking he's back to where he was at the prison, almost like he's thinking he's like way back before, because there he is waking up telling Rick, and he says, where's Mom? Right there. Where's Lori, right? You can see that right there. So that's pretty insane. I didn't really think that they would have, I really was looking forward to that in the TV show, and then they just kind of didn't do it. And there, I always like the shot, by the way. This kind of Alexandria shot. I really, really like that. Stupid camera. But yeah, I really, really like that shot. For some reason, it's like an Alexandria only shot, right? So, that's pretty cool. You got everybody, they're kind of just cleaning up, Michonne's cutting up some walkers. So, there's not too much action aside from the Carl stuff. Like, interesting, kind of. Rick has to kind of snap Carl out of it with the whole amnesia thing. He says, it's okay, and he says, it's going to be okay. And everybody's kind of confused. They're wondering what's going on with Carl. So it takes him a while, actually, before he recovers. Yeah, it does. It takes quite a bit of time, actually. So that's pretty insane. And so this is a pretty awesome scene right here. So this is something that we actually saw, like probably, because this right here would be like season 6 second half of this is what it would have been if they would have translated this stuff to the TV show. I don't know why they cut this stuff out. Instead they just kind of did a time skip, which really wonders me if they're going to do a time skip after All Out War, or maybe that was their kind of time skip type thing, right? But Nicholas, in the TV show it was Carter, but in the comics it was actually Nicholas. You guys remember Nicholas? Remember Thank You? You know, the guy that was with Glenn in season 6? Him and Glenn had a bit of a rivalry. Well, he actually points a gun to everybody, and Rick has to get the gun out of his hand because he kind of tricks him, and he points the gun and he says, "Do you really think you're going to take this community from us?" You remember? And, you know, in the comic book series, there was no Daryl, so he just says it kind of differently in the comics. He says, from Andrea, from Abraham, from Michonne, from Glenn, from me. Do you have any idea who you're talking to? I remember that. And that was like in the season 6 premiere. So that was like roughly a little earlier than it should have been. I don't know why they translated it to that, but they did. And it was a different character he was pointing the gun to. So that's pretty insane. And yeah, so it's really cool. There's a lot of stuff in this trade that's really interesting. But the thing that really hits me at the end is that we actually see Rick get together with Andrea. And people don't always see the TV show, but however, people that are watching these reviews will understand why. But in the comic book series, Andrea was never with the governor. She was never with Shane. None of that happened in the comics. Andrea is a stick-up character in the comics. She is way tougher than the TV show. She doesn't shoot her friends. She's like a Sasha / Michonne, but she doesn't have as weird of an attitude as Sasha. Like she's a bright person. She's bright, you know. She's not like Sasha where she's like she's hard to follow sometimes, you know. No, she's really awesome in the comics, and she's one of my favorite characters. And she's kind of the sniper rifle of the group, so to speak, right? And Rick kind of says, you know, he's like, well, you know, I'm like kind of sad about Carl and everything, and I don't think we can ever, come back from what we did. And Andrea says it's time to come back, and then they just kind of kiss. So this is different because in the TV show, this was like translated to Rick and Michonne. So I guess they did kind of do like some of this stuff like with this in like episode 10 a little bit with the whole Rick getting together with Michonne / Andrea, but not like the full thing. Like, you know, not exactly how it was in the comics. Like a lot of stuff when it comes to this part was different. But, and this is the part that I can prove that the comic book, like this is a great, example that the comic book series is different from the TV series. So, yeah, guys, if you guys want to check out my other reviews, I'll put the link in the description to the playlist and for each video. And let me know what you guys think about this trade. And, yeah, so do you guys think this is a great trade? I'm going to give this one a 8.2, pretty good. Translated to Rick and Michonne getting together into a TV series. Just as good, I think. And, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. It's the weekend, so I'll post it in the morning.